Hi friends, today we're going to create a poinsettia plant. It's that holiday plant that everybody loves with the bright red leaves and green leaves. To begin, you're just going to draw a horizontal line and a vertical line across your paper. Then we're going to begin to draw the leaves. And you can refer to the diagram on the assignment to help you with the shape of the leaves and the placement of the leaves. So those guidelines are just going to help us to put our leaves in there. And I'm showing you I did 4. I'm going to add the berries in the center. I'm going to continue to overlap those leaves. After I put the first ones down, then it's just a matter of overlapping more leaves in between the ones I already have. Until you extend those leaves out to the edge of your paper. You can start with smaller ones and get bigger as you go out. And once I have those drawn, I'm going to add just a line down the center of those leaves. And then I'm going to outline with a Sharpie. So here goes my Sharpie. Just going to start at the center and work my way out, starting with those berries. And from here, I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. It's just outlining the leaves, the berries, and then we're going to be ready to watercolor. So now that I have my drawing outlined, I'm going to get going on my watercolor. First, I'm going to just lay some water down with no color on there. That just softens the paper and it gives the color a soft edge. We call that a wash. So I'm just loading my brush up with some color. Just painting those outside edges. We would call that the negative space, the space around our object, which our object is the poinsettia plant. Cleaning that brush out a little bit. You can see I have a little bit of color left in there. That's okay because those leaves are going to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to come around, load my brush up with some green. And you can see that it's wet and it just floats in there. It's okay if it gets out of bounds a little bit. That's what happens with watercolor a little bit. They say watercolor is spontaneous. And spontaneous means that things happen on the paper that you can't control. And those are kind of happy accidents. So at this point, I'm laying in the red leaves, and those red leaves really make the plant so vibrant and so different. It's not often that you see red leaves on a plant. Most of the time they're green. So I'm just laying in some red there. And so you want to start with the bigger areas and then work to your details. So once I get the rest of this red, then I might come back in and do some splattering and do some veins in the leaves just to give it a little more pop. So I have my bigger areas done. And I'm going to pull that color out of my brush. Grab another one. And while it's still a little bit wet, I'm just painting in lines. So from this point, it's just a matter of adding your details that you want. And just one second, I'll show you the splatter technique. That's really fun, but you got to make sure that it's okay with your parents because it can get kind of messy. Make sure you're a good artist and clean up after yourself. That's not always very fun, but that's what I did today. I had to clean up what I've been doing before I could start another project. So there, I just load my brush up and I just tap it on the end, and it gives it a splattering technique. It flings a little dot pattern out there, and that's just going to give it just a little bit richer texture to our painting. Well, so we're learning washes, we're learning splatter technique. Those are all good techniques to learn if you want to get into watercolor. And as I tell all my artist friends, use more water than color. Alrighty, so have fun and take care. This is Mrs. Eastis signing off.